What's up guys, welcome to Veldora-kun. From our previous episode, we have witnessed the continuation of the battle at Jura Tempest. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, I will put the link in the description below. Just a quick warning, these videos contain spoilers from the light novel. I also want to share to you my YouTube membership, Veldora's Loyal Knights. For more details, just click the join button below. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community, Veldora-kun Subordinates. The link is in the description below. See you there. So now in this video we will review what happened next, which is the end of Diablo's war with the Celestial Sages. But before we will proceed, please like, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now without further ado, let's proceed with the video. As Rimuru was concerned over it, the absolute defense of Covenant King Uriel were activated for the first time. He feels as though his skin is being covered by a thin layer of transparent membrane. And with this layer of membrane, absolute defense as blockade, Trinity disintegration is completely countered. Speaking of this, Rimuru recalls that it was his first time activating his defense. Before, he has only relied on multi-barrier instead of absolute defense. He raised the question to Raphael as to why it wasn't activated when he received Hinata's attack. With his question, Wisdom King Raphael gives the response, answer. Even if you activated absolute defense of Covenant King Uriel, spirit particle may still penetrate. Hence, activating said skill prior is meaningless. But right now, Rimuru's absolute defense has perfectly defended against Trinity disintegration. Rimuru is curious as to how did Raphael perfectly predict the movement of spirit particles from 7 celestials? Raphael explained, answer. In the previous melt/attack, gluttonous King Beelzebub both cancelled out the strike and engaged by predation at the same time. The information gathered then was successful in analyzing the random motion of spirit particles. As a result, it became possible to predict and defend against the attack of Holy Element. In addition, you've obtained Holy Sword Technique Melt/. Rimuru thinks it's right, but then realized that did Raphael just let him intentionally get hit by Hinata's sword? Raphael remained silent. Raphael's silence is telling Rimuru everything he wants to know. Yet Wisdom King Raphael wouldn't make such dangerous gambit, so could it be that, even if Rimuru didn't use gluttonous King Beelzebub to cancel the attack, he still wouldn't be killed, even when hit by melt/head-on? Raphael explained, answer. Of course not. You lost a great deal of magical energy, but your material body could have been instantly reconstructed by endless regeneration. Then Raphael turned silent, and Rimuru is curious as to what Raphael is nervous about. Perhaps, did Raphael want to analyze melt/ by consuming it? Rimuru then thinks that Wisdom King Raphael is becoming more better at dodging his questions, even more human-like. He also thinks that this super-duper invincible skill, Wisdom King Raphael, is simply too amazing. It is truly a waste to give him such power. Raphael denies, false. I was born only for my master. Rimuru is glad and replies, I'll be relying on you in the future as well, partner. And during the conversation with Wisdom King Raphael, the 3 sages screamed in shock, impossible, how could it be, it is impossible. There is no one in the world who can survive a direct blast of disintegration. Their attack not only was the strongest in holy magic, it was also stacked with 3 layers, granting it with absolute destructive power. Yet Rimuru blocked it and no less. Rimuru then gives a signal, alright, it's our turn now. Benimaru and the others nod in response. Benimaru asked, your fancy circle seems to have disappeared. Think you can withstand this a second time? He says so to the 3 sages while playing the black flame in his hand. The Celestials seem to turn anxious after using their trump card and failing. Xian comments as she gives off a terrifying smile, you can't escape us. You better start praying. Sao remains silent, but he is closely observing every move of the 7 Celestials. Both Alvis and Sufia were watching over the Holy Knights from the sky and also make sure they won't step out of the line. Even when they're not a threat anymore, there's no harm in making sure. The 3 sages have been cornered, yet they still refuse to give up. They started to intimidate Rimuru's group and negotiate arrogantly. Think this over carefully. We are the guardians of mankind. If you eliminate us, the believers of Rumina's will not just sit and watch. Exactly. Rumina's rage will consume you to ashes, and we shall retreat for now. Now that we know you are not evil, I am sure negotiating will proceed smoothly with the Western nations. Let us just be good neighbors in the future. Rimuru starts to get pissed off with what they're saying, and it's about time to shut them up. And just when he have the thought of ending it, a piercing sound is suddenly made. Someone said, "Demon Lord Rimuru, sorry for the trouble." A slit is slashed across the space followed by the appearance of a massive gate. The door opened, revealing a beautiful young woman. Between her unique silver hair, her heterochronic eyes, there was no mistaking it. It is none other than Demon Lord Valentine herself. The 3-7 Celestials are shocked and cowered in fear. They drop on their knees in fear. They are too speechless and can't form the right words. They also asked, "Why have your grace visited such a place?" The god Rumina's true identity is actually Demon Lord Valentine. Learning this fact, Rimuru is speechless and out of astonishment. On the other hand, Diablo is joyful as he puts on an evil smile. He recalls what Rimuru said to him, "I'll permit it. Exterminate them." With those simple words from Rimuru, he had full permission to do as he pleased. He really wishes to eliminate these fools as soon as possible. Diablo asks the reporters, "By the way, everyone, are you all right?" When the fireball was thrown by the Celestials, Diablo's barrier intercepted the fireball and protected the reporters. That also included the demon slayers, King Edward and his knights. They're all safe and unharmed. Elemental magic or spirit magic requires magicule, and so they are unable to break through Diablo's barrier. The 3 Celestials said, "Annoying little demon. I can't believe he possesses such power. What a horrifying guy. It is time to show off holy force." And here we go, everyone gets ready. The members of 7 Celestials expect they can easily get rid of everyone and underestimated Diablo. They think that no matter how powerful this demon was, as soon as its flesh used in its incarnation is destroyed, it will lose its influence on the world. The moment he could no longer maintain his magical form, it was back to the spiritual world for him. Based on this, the members of the 7 Celestials came up with the ultimate magic. They came up with a gigantic fireball, nuclear strike magic flame of destruction. It required 3 people's cooperation to execute. It is the evil flame of hell that will incinerate everything. Yet, with Diablo on the defense, it didn't work at all. The shocked 7 Celestials decided to pull out their final solution without hesitation. Defeating someone as powerful as Diablo required holy force, so they have decided to utilize their supposedly reserved trump card, which is Trinity Break. Trinity Break is the same ultimate technique used by the other Celestials to fight against Rimuru. It may take some time to prepare, but they could be protected by another barrier. Moreover, this skill will unleash Trinity Disintegration in the end, a holy magic spell that can decimate all beings. No matter how great the monster or Magian, even Demon Lord should not be able to defend against that spell. The 3-7 Celestials begin to cast this spell. Diablo began negotiating with the press. "Did you all just witness that attack? They are clearly trying to eliminate you, aren't they?" Diablo asked gently, and none of the reporters made a sound to object. Even Sayer, who was just fighting Diablo, couldn't deny it. Everyone is aware of what is going on and immediately agrees to Diablo. Some of the reporters know these people, the guardian of mankind, the great heroes. They are the legendary 7 Celestial Sages. They were sure that Diablo was telling the truth, that they were all supposed to be sacrificed by these sages. The 7 Celestials planned to eliminate them along with Diablo in order to then claim to the public that it is all Diablo's doing. Diablo assured them, "But there is no need for alarm. I will protect you all." In the reporters' eyes, Diablo is giving off a kind and gentle smile like Buddha. They believed him. If he was powerful enough to take on 3 martial sage Sayer with ease, beating the legendary 7 Celestials didn't seem impossible either. The reporters asked, "What should we give in return? Money? Since demons never do things for free, they will always seek payment." And Diablo was no different, he'd never provide a service for no reason, unless he was doing it for Rimuru. Diablo replies, "Kufufufufu, I appreciate your understanding. I only wish for one thing." He smiled and demanded that the reporters would prove his innocence. Hearing this, the reporters are greatly relieved, believing this is a reasonable price. They replied to Diablo, "Of course. Let us spread the word far and wide. Right, I'll document all of it. Including your incredible skills, and that we will. So please help us." And it means that they are now under the influence of unique skill tempter. They have signed the contract that forbids them from betraying. Diablo replies, "Kufufufufu, very well. Then I promise to save all of you, but not you." Diablo points at a specific person, and it is King Edward who had just awakened from his coma. King Edward is surprised and tried to ask what he have done. Diablo interrupted, "Silence. You openly mocked Rimuru-sama. And that crime alone cannot simply be repaid with death. It's time for you to realize that saving you is useless." Edward racked his hazy mind for some way out, yet he can't come up with a good idea. He resorted to begging, "I'm begging you please, if you could, allow me to live." But it is not able to move Diablo's heart. Diablo responds, "Kufufufufu, feel free to continue repenting on your foolishness as you depart in this world." Edward begins to cry out loud, "I'll give you everything. Money or power. Even my throne. I'll step down to give you everything." Hearing this, Diablo began to think and answers, "Come to think of it, the hero Yaum was responsible for looking after Edmilus Dono. I believe he is the only one qualified to truly lead the Pharmas kingdom. What do you think?" Edward already knew what to say, "I agree with you, he has great potential. I would gladly announce him as my successor." The answer was a source of great satisfaction for Diablo. The reporters could sense it as well, and a couple of them began to laugh, "Ha ha ha ha. A new hero king is about to be born? This is the news of the century." Diablo nods joyfully, and now the table was set perfectly. Although the plan has slightly deviated, the results wound up more than satisfactory. Now he will only have to take care of the other problem. The 3-7 Celestials start to talk. Are you ready for this? In just a few more moments, a rain of light beam will cleanse this world of evil. And enjoy while your numbered life lasts. The 7 Celestials seem to be quite confident with their upcoming spell. Diablo answers, "Am I ready for what, exactly? Quit joking around, you meddled with my plans and shamed me in front of my master Rimuru, which are both serious crimes. I shall repay you with the fear I have felt many times over." Diablo stares at the 3-7 Celestials without a smile. His face was expressionless, the beauty to it only adding to the fear factor. The 3-7 Celestials asked, What are you saying, and have you lost your mind? This spell could never." But before they could finish what they're saying, Diablo snapped his fingers and interrupted the words of 7 Celestials members. Then, "The whole world is doomed with fear," Diablo announced. "Enjoy the sensation of powerlessness in a crumbling world. Activate despair time." This is Diablo's power. Taking advantage of the world of temptation, despair time is one of the abilities under his unique skill tempter. It originally would have a direct impact on the target's consciousness and affect their psyche. Yet Diablo has made this ability even more powerful. It let him materialize a virtual world for its victim, where he holds the absolute authority. Once sent to that world, even the life and death of the targets would be in Diablo's grip. He could even switch out that pretend world for the real one with the help of reality exchange. This is how horrifying and beyond common sense this ability is. The 3-7 Celestials starts to panic and shout in astonishment, What is this? Magic, our magic disappeared, and how can this be?" The clock ticked on their personal hell, and in the end, their world begins to collapse. Diablo says, "Enjoy reflecting upon your foolishness in the deepest pit of hell." With this said, Diablo wraps up the final act. The world comes to an end, devouring the despair of the 7 Celestials along with it. Soon after, the promises made in this battlefield will be successfully carried out. And that's it for my video. Now, it's shout-out time. Welcome to the new members of Veldora's Loyal Knights. Thank you Magnus Lund. Thank you Hydrox. Thank you Roy Shaukrun. Thank you NACL Nation. Thank you Zecherex. Thanks to Werner van Waynsberg. And lastly, thank you Krem Y. I also want to thank my beloved existing loyal knights. Next, I want to give a shout out to my Discord boosters. Thank you for boosting the server twice. And thank you to the following for boosting the server. Thank you so much everyone. See you on my next upload.